And on this sunny Shanghai Sunday, welcome along to round 3 of the Formula One World Championship in 2018. It's the 15th World Championship Chinese Grand Prix. We are here in the Yangtze River Delta. Pirelli have brought the medium tyre, the soft tyre, and not the super soft. It's the ultra soft for this weekend. How will the tyres react to a warmer track temperature than we've had so far this weekend? That is the view from the front, Martin Brundle. For the last 2 Grand Prix here, Mercedes have won, Ferrari have come second, Red Bull 3rd and 4th, and Ferrari 5th. It could happen today, but Mercedes are going to have to go some to do it.
Well, I certainly hope it doesn't in many respects, and if it does, then it's a big mix-up along the way, because I think this is as close as we've seen for a long time, with 6 runners out there again who we think have a chance to win the Grand Prix to varying extents. But Lewis Hamilton going around in these much warmer conditions. We've got 39 Celsius on the track today compared to 15 for much of qualifying. Has taken a half a degree of front wing out, which is a lot on these cars. 3 holes, they unwind it. He's felt a lot more front grip, and it's always dangerous to start trying to feel a car on the outlap because you're not really fully attacking it.
The rear is definitely the left rear is going to struggle today. Surprised that it'll be a one-stop.
The grandstand's absolutely packed. It's felt like a very, very slow formation lap, but they're almost ready.
So Vettel pointing slightly right, a few degrees right, ready to cover off his teammate and any fast-starting Mercedes trying to go between the pair of them.
Yeah, maybe the best form of defence for Mercedes is attack, and Hamilton, rather than watching his wing mirrors, might like to be looking out in front. Valtteri Bottas too. Can Bottas get in amongst the Ferraris like he did in Bahrain? 2 Ferraris, 2 Mercedes, 2 Red Bull occupying the first 3 rows, and we're all set for battle here in Shanghai. It's lights out and away we go. Good start from Vettel, good start from Raikkonen. Vettel does cut across to block out his teammate. Bottas ahead of Hamilton. Ricciardo on the inside is cut out by Verstappen, and Hulkenberg is trying to get past Ricciardo round the outside at turn 1. They've all avoided the usual chaos through the first couple of corners. Sebastian Vettel out in front ahead of Valtteri Bottas and Kimi Raikkonen, and there's a little bit of Force India running a little bit wide there, kicking up a little bit of dirt, but they're all through and onto the hairpin.
So with Vettel squeezing Raikkonen, he had to lift out on the way into turn 1 and has put Raikkonen down the field. Hamilton similarly got out of position, so it's Verstappen that's up into 3rd place.
Verstappen 3rd, Raikkonen 4th, and there's a Renault of Carlos Sainz ahead of his teammate Nico Hulkenberg, who ran wide as well. On board with Kimi Raikkonen, whose teammate Sebastian Vettel leads this race. Hamilton tried to dive down the inside. Raikkonen blocked him off there. Hamilton is looking to get on with this and make up for the opening few corners that seem to have cost him.
No DRS, no opening of the rear wing for 2 laps until after the start or after a safety car, should we have one later on. So it'll be just about slipstreaming.
Max Verstappen coming into the pits. Ted.
And it's the medium tyre. So is this an experiment on a long middle stint for a 2-stop, or is this an experiment for a 1-stop? And it's exactly the same for Daniel Ricciardo on the same lap. So fantastic work. They more or less stacked the Red Bulls, didn't they? They're putting both guys in and servicing them very quickly on the same lap.
It's right outside our window, Ted. Ricciardo was approaching the pit box literally as Verstappen was leaving, and they knew they'd got just enough time, but that's a high-risk strategy, isn't it? If the first pit stop has a problem, you've ruined both your races.
Box, 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 box. Do the opposite to Raikkonen. Do the opposite to Raikkonen.
So Raikkonen stays out. Hamilton does do the opposite and comes in for his pit stop. So this is now Mercedes reacting to the Red Bull undercut, but also trying the undercut themselves on Ferrari. The undercut where the car behind stops first, gets new rubber, gets a faster lap in and tries, before the man in front has chance to react, to jump a place in the pit stop. Bottas in second pits.
Yeah, Mercedes at the beginning of the pit lane as the world champions in this layout. 80 kilometers per hour, 50 miles per hour. But he's limited to, you can get straight up to your 50, that's why they launch like that. Max
Verstappen should just be coming around the final turnabout now, as Valtteri Bottas comes out into the racetrack proper, and they had to react to Max Verstappen there. One more lap and chances are Max Verstappen would have had the undercut on Valtteri Bottas.
That's a good stop. A bit tentative, I guess. They've had different procedures. Let's see where he turns out compared to Bottas.
Right, so there's Kimi Räikkönen going through turn one. He's in the lead of this race. Here comes Valtteri Bottas.
This is going to be so
This
close.
is very tight indeed. Sebastian Vettel comes out. Bottas gets past Sebastian Vettel. The undercut has worked for Mercedes. Bottas ahead of the man that was leading this race. Ferrari left Sebastian Vettel out there, and it has cost him for the time being. Bottas round the outside on Kimi Räikkönen. Bottas will now have the inside line if he can just hang on there into turn three. Very nice indeed, but he hasn't got it completed just yet. Kimi Räikkönen going wide. Sebastian Vettel slots behind his teammate now as Valtteri Bottas takes the lead of the Chinese Grand Prix. For one half moment, Räikkönen tried to dive down the inside. That didn't work for him. Worked for Sebastian Vettel, who now makes up a place on Kimi and moves into second. And Bottas is still under pressure from a Ferrari, but it's Sebastian Vettel this time around. And Kimi Räikkönen is coming into the pits, Ted.
Yeah, and that's a pretty much disastrous strategy for him. He's going to be beaten now by Hamilton and both the Red Bulls.
The one thing he's done is he's allowed Sebastian Vettel to close right up on Valtteri Bottas, but that is not why Kimi Räikkönen wants to go racing, I'm sure. Look at that. Was leading the race, Martin. Pits, now comes out sixth.
Somebody's
Charles Leclerc
been for a little
spin.
joyride.
Yeah, had a spin at the final corner yesterday. Down the first couple of corners. He's gone off into the gravel and he's depositing the stones back onto the track again.
Charles was expected to be the wonder boy, wasn't he? But it's had a difficult... normally I'd expect he wouldn't get out of that, but it's obviously a bit baked and a bit crispy, and off he goes.
And there's a yellow flag as the two Toro Rossos have got very close together. Down at the hairpin, Pierre Gasly and Brendan Hartley coming a bit of a cropper there, and Hartley coming off worse. What happened there to the two Toro Rossos?
Golden rule number one, don't run into your teammate. Indeed, that's what's happened.
So the Sauber goes through, Hartley ahead of Gasly. Gasly gets very, very close, and Hartley was in the way as Gasly couldn't slow the car down in time. A safety car is exactly what they have got, which I wonder if means people are going to dive into the pits, and one of the Red Bulls has dived into the pits. It's Max Verstappen, who did a brilliant job to get past the Toro Rosso on the run into the pit lane as well. Ted, down to you.
Yeah, right in front of me, so he's going to put the soft tyres on, and this is a gift for anybody who's worried about getting to the end on those white striped medium
And it's
tyres.
a double stack for Red Bull, because in comes Ricciardo as well.
And I wonder, Crofty, if it'll be a gift for Valtteri Bottas as well, with that worrying line of blisters or whatever they were on his right front tyre. Let's see what Mercedes and Ferrari do.
But the safety car came out at the wrong time for them, Ted. They couldn't get in the pits, some of them.
But Red Bull very much took advantage. We are green, we are racing again with Valtteri Bottas in the lead from Sebastian Vettel and Lewis Hamilton. And behind here, Fernando Alonso and Romain Grosjean going wheel to wheel into turn one. Fernando Alonso stays ahead of Romain Grosjean. There's Carlos Sainz getting in on the action as well. It was a big moment for Fernando Alonso there.
Ricciardo with much more grip through there. DRS will open, is he at the end? And we haven't got DRS yet. We've not done 2 more laps under the safety car.
Here goes Ricciardo now. Maybe he doesn't need DRS. He's got past Räikkönen. Can he make it stick into the hairpin? There he goes again. Daniel Ricciardo late braking, gets past Kimi Räikkönen. As Verstappen has a look at Lewis Hamilton. Hamilton defends well.
And that's how much more grip the Red Bull's got. Look, it's just driving out of the corner. You'll not get around the outside of there, though.
Very nearly.
Well, Willie.
Oh, they're very nearly. They touch again. Verstappen, in his eagerness to get past Lewis Hamilton, has lost out to his teammate Daniel Ricciardo. He runs off the road. Should Verstappen just have bided his time a little bit there? So that's the view that Lewis Hamilton will have looking in his wing mirrors. And you'll see there, the Red Bull is within touching distance if he puts one little foot wrong. gaining down that back straight. Ricciardo goes for it from a long way back. This would be sensational if he makes it. And do you know what? He has made it. Daniel Ricciardo came from absolutely nowhere and deserves not only a round of applause, but a standing ovation from that garage. He is up into the podium places. There's no stopping him at times.
He's a racing burglar, isn't he, Ricciardo? He's always stealing races. Can he steal this one?
And down the inside goes Max Verstappen on Lewis Hamilton. He's been caught by a Red Bull again, and he didn't have the grip to defend. Daniel Ricciardo will one stage look well out of this race.
This is close. He's much closer than he was to Hamilton.
Oh, look, he's got the slipstream. He's going, and Sebastian Vettel is gone. Daniel Ricciardo is up into second place, and that one was the easier move. Red Bull
make it stick
against Ferrari.
Oh, he's locked up. Big lock-up. Where does that leave him on the way out?
Verstappen on the inside of Vettel, they have touched!
Max.
That was inevitable from the moment Verstappen decided to go for it. Kimi Raikkonen has managed to scoot past Lewis Hamilton by the looks of it, but Sebastian Vettel hit by Max Verstappen. Here we go. Bottas covers it off, but he can't cover it off totally. Ricciardo somehow finds a gap there, and Valtteri Bottas gave him enough respect and enough room, and he squeezed through Daniel Ricciardo to take the lead at the Chinese Grand Prix. It was a race against time by the Red Bull crew to get him out on the track. He qualified on the third row. He's leading the race. His teammate Max Verstappen has now got past Lewis Hamilton. He's got a 10-second penalty still coming his way, but now he's got some clean air to try and build a gap on Lewis Hamilton. Fernando Alonso is still fighting away, and Sebastian Vettel, did he get any contact from Alonso there going through turn 2? Alonso is ahead of the Ferrari, and Alonso is up into 7th place. Sebastian Vettel has lost out once again. If there wasn't any contact, he really did have to back out. He locks up going into the hairpin, and Carlos Sainz might start getting interested on Sebastian Vettel soon as well.
So we're going to swap underneath him and then just run him clean out of road.
You can't just run me off the track like that. It was intentional.
Sebastian Vettel had to go off track there. That cost him. He then locked up into the hairpin. We can see it better now, Martin, from this angle.
Alonso said taking the racing line when he was. I don't see a problem with that.
Daniel Ricciardo retired from 4 of the last 6 races. He had a turbo failure in practice. He very nearly missed out on qualifying. He has made every single opportunity that's come his way today. Ricciardo wins the Chinese Grand Prix. Behind him, Bottas makes it home to second place, ahead of Kimi Raikkonen, with Max Verstappen finishing in 4th place.
Yes, boys. Nice job, mate. Nice job. Holy amazing job, mate. That was absolutely clinical moves. Cutthroat. Scary.